This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where you bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
Today on the Compliance Tip of the Day, I'd like to look at the board selection of investigative counsel. There are, of course, some significant considerations that every board should use when instructing or hiring counsel to perform your internal investigation of a potential FCPA violation or other claim. And the appearance of partiality undermines the objectivity and credibility of an investigation. This means you should not use your regular counsel, but how can independent board members determine the need for outside independent counsel to perform this investigation? Well, one of the things you need to consider is the potential of conflicts of interest at both the outset and during the investigation. There are two types of conflicts of interest which might come to light during an investigation. The first one comes up when the law firm or lawyers conducting the investigation or those whose prior legal advice has some bearing on the matters being investigated. During an internal investigation, however, the lawyers may be hired and represent a board or its committee. This, of course, was the imbroglio which the law firm Vincent & Elkins and Enron found themselves in when whistleblower Sharon Watkins asked for an internal investigation and Enron hired the firm that had done the legal work for it. Guess what they found? The second comes when a lawyer or law firm jointly represents a board and employees at the company as regulators have become increasingly concerned with joint representation. The trickier question is what to do when there is simply a risk of representing one client could limit a lawyer's duties to others. In these situations, obviously a joint representation may not be appropriate. Some of the questions that a board could ask are, did management, the board, or committees consisting of outside directors oversee the investigation? Did employees or outside counsel perform the investigation? If it's outside counsel, have they done other work for the company? How long ago was the last legal work done by the law firm proposed for the investigation for the company? And how much was the law firm paid? The selection of your investigative counsel will be a critical first step. Take heart. As you know, this month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The Compliance Tip of the Day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.